All right, Derek Chisora is here, heavyweight contender. You will see him on Saturday against Alexander Usyk, heavyweight battle over in the UK. You can watch that in the US live on Dazn. And Derek, I've covered a bunch of your fights, going back to Vitaly Klitschko, David Haye, a bunch of them ringside. I have to say, I don't think I've ever seen you like an opponent like this. Is that fair? Have you ever genuinely seemed like you liked an opponent like this?
Listen, first of all, what's there not to like about this guy? Gold medalist, knows how to dance, uh, good guy, very simple, outgoing. He's just a funny character. There's nothing there. He's a cool guy. I like him. He's cool. I'm a big fan of his. I was an Alexander Usyk fan when I watched him win the Muhammad Ali trophy. I was watching that in my house. I was like, this guy's amazing. The way he boxes, the way he just keeps coming forward, So I'm a big fan of him. So I can't go there and start trying slash talking him, talking trash to him. It's difficult for me.
Do you feel like you train better? Do you feel like you fight better when there is kind of a negativity with your opponent, or does it not matter?
I'm happy right now. I'm in a good place. I'm focused. My training camp has gone very well. I didn't injure myself. Everything was amazing. I was lifting heavier. I was running longer. My cardio is great. My sparring was great. Everything just went amazingly. So there was nothing else for me to do.
It's funny. This fight has taken on. It's getting known in the U.S. in large part because of some of the sound bites that you guys have, the Derek and the Alexander stuff. I mean, it's taken on a life of its own, man.
Yeah, you know what? I think with this, with what's happening right now in the whole world, people want to forget for a split second and come out with some jokes, because right now life is just too hard for everybody. I mean, even in the States, in London, in Africa. So I think for us to come up with, because he came up with it first, and we just run with a catchphrase first, So we're like, let's run it. So this is a catchphrase for everybody, because he keeps saying hello, hello. So we're like, so we run with that, and that was a good part of him coming up with that, and it was run with it, but we want to run it in a good way so people get to talk about it, not to dislike it. We want people to talk about it, and when they talk about it, it brings laughter to them with their friends or family or anything like that. So that's the whole point.
It definitely does that. This is a pretty big fight, and you've always taken on the top guys in the heavyweight division. How tough, though, a decision was it for you to take this fight under the circumstances that we have now, behind closed doors, without fans, without the revenue from fans? You're a big ticket seller in the UK. What was that decision like?
Listen, if you get to fight this year or next year, we thank God for that, because most fighters are not fighting this year. So we are just thanking God that we are fighting. If you get to do anything you enjoy this year, thank God for that, because right now, some places things are just standstill.
So it was an easy decision to take the fight. No,
it was easy, very easy.
Mm-hmm. You after you beat David Price, you said something to him in the ring. Basically, don't retire. Retirement's for suckers at that point. You've had a kind of career, Derek, where, you've won some, you've lost some, you keep coming back every single time. Where does that mindset come from? I mean, what drives you, even after setbacks, to keep coming back?
I think what drives me most is that, belief, my faith. If I'm not ready for the golden gates, if I think I'm ready for them, the man upstairs takes them away from me, and I keep marching. Moses never made his promised land because he kept on doubting the man upstairs. And he never made it. So for me, I like to just carry on my path without. If I lose, did I give a good fight? Yes, great fight. Okay, I go back and rest and ask what's next. That's it. Because you have to understand, boxing, there's winners and there's losers. You know, don't mean if you don't win the World Series for the next 10 years, you should just shut down the whole team down because you haven't won it. You carry on because there's people who like the way you play ball or you play football and stuff like that. There's teams in what you call in London, we call it soccer. There's teams who never won the Premier League before, but they're still there, still playing, and then people are still getting paid. So for me, I don't look at it like I've lost so many fights I should retire. No, I'll retire when it's time for me to retire, not when the journalists are telling me I should retire. If I retire, what are you gonna write about? Nothing. You understand? So I love the sport right now, so I can't be retiring right now.
How much, Derek, does winning that heavyweight championship motivate you? How much is that still the thing that drives you the most?
Yes. Man, put it this way, man. Fight for the world title fight, it's amazing. Great. I'm happy to fight for that. But I like to fight for money. Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah. Everybody likes to fight for titles, but you can keep your titles, man. Show me where the money is. That's what I want. Mm-hmm. After all the money, got money, and you listen, what would you rather have? All the belts in the world, but no dollars? Nah.
I want the money. I'd want the money.
Exactly.
Taking on a guy like Usyk, I mean, you've had experience facing guys coming up from cruiserweight. You fought David Haye, of course. You fought smaller guys in your career as well. I mean, how different is the prep for a guy that is, more skill than he is raw power?
The guy's skillful, man. I could not find any southpaws who box like him. But we changed the game plan. We said we're going to be fitter and stronger. So when we hit him, he stays here. That was our objective. That was our target. We're not going to match him for skills because I can't box, man. Got the skills.
So so finding someone to replicate him in training, that was tough?
Very hard. It was tough. We got to a point now we had to offer $1,000 for anybody, or 1,000 or 2,000 for anybody who can come at southpaw and knock me out. And people did come, but nobody took the money.
Even with that kind of offer, nobody took it?
People came, but no, they all got beaten up.
I was in Chicago, Derek, when Usyk made his heavyweight debut. It was fine. Chaz Witherspoon is certainly not on your level. It looked like Usyk at times was trying to get some rounds in. What did you think of his fight against Witherspoon?
He was trying to get rounds in. He didn't want to push his. His goal. He was trying to get his rounds in, just trying to make it like he can't box in heavyweight. And people were like, "Oh, that was a crappy fight in heavyweight." But really, truly, that's all bamboozle. It shows you something else, and it shows you something else. We're not looking at our fight with Chet Witherspoon. We're looking at the fight, me and him. Let's see what happens.
Do you think he's aware of what it feels like to get hit by someone like you? The power that the real difference between cruiserweight and heavyweight.
No, I don't think he's aware of that yet. I don't think so. I think he's not aware for that. I can't answer that. He's not aware yet.
Last thing I'll ask you, Derek, is that, we said, you want to win that World Heavyweight Championship. Usyk, theoretically, the WBO is supposed to give him that shot. Do you believe it's your shot if you beat Alexander Usyk?
I think David has been on the phone with the WBO right now and been talking to them and stuff like that. But, for me right now, I am just concentrating on fighting on Saturday to get this fight rolling. Mm-hmm.
It still is weird to me, Derek, to see you and David Haye working so closely together. After covering your fight back in 2012, I'm still surprised you guys just getting this close.
This is what I'm trying to say, man. Sometimes if things happen, you just have to look at it and then just meet up with your enemy, /enemy, and just make up, because life is too short to hold grudges. This is too short. If you see your enemy, make up, talk to them, hey, what's happening? How are you? You never know what might happen. And then it just happened, me and Dave.
Well, no need to make up with you and Usyk. Still a good friendly rivalry between you two. Derek, good luck on Saturday, man. It's going to be one of the better fights, I think, in the second half of this year. Thanks for joining me here on the show.
Thank you, sir.